book is messy. My very first 5-star read of the year, almost 900 pages. Hello, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. My name is Lauren if you haven't met me yet. Today's video, we are going to be discussing all of the 23 books I have read so far this year. Kind of like a midway wrap-up review video, if you will. Like, we're halfway through 2026. So I thought, why not discuss all the books that we've read so far this year. Now, this is not the only book video that I filmed for the mid-year wrap-up. I also filmed the mid-year reading challenge tag. If you haven't seen that one yet, I'll link it down below for you guys to go check out. But yeah, today we're going to be discussing every single book that I've read so far, as we said. And I've read 23, I believe, or I've technically read 22, but I'm currently reading my 23rd book, and so we'll include that one as well, because why not? I'm almost finished with it. That's a lie. I'm like a third of the way through, but you know. And what we're going to do here is we're going to start back from like the very beginning of January. We're going to go throughout the entire year and go through every single books, my thoughts on them, my ratings, whether or not I'd recommend them or not. So yeah, sit back, get comfy, grab yourself a sweet treat, maybe a little drink, and we're going to be going through all of the books. So the very first book I read way back in January was Collided by Lauren Asher. Let me get it out. This is the second book in the Dirty Air series by her. This is Formula One racing books, and this one follows Sophie and Liam. This is the one where I believe Sophie's father is the like head manager or something like that for Liam's rival racing team in F1, and so it's like that forbidden romance. And guys, this series in general is just like the best palate cleansers, honestly. Like, if you're looking for something to read in between, like, you know, maybe a heavier series or something like that, these are just so fun. And like, genuinely, the beginning books I wasn't too invested in. Like this one, I don't remember what I gave it. I think I gave it just like a 3.5 stars, and I said this is just the cheesy romance I needed. But honestly, as you get even further into the series, I am loving these books so much. The interconnectedness of the characters, so much fun. But like, the further on you get, the better the themes are, if that makes sense. Like, the first books just focus more on the romance, but the third and fourth especially focus on more life events and life problems, like family issues and deeper things than just the romance, and I enjoy those. But obviously I recommend reading the series in order, so definitely read Throttled and then Collided first, just so you can get all of the characters' point of views. So good. Yeah, I would recommend this one. Then right after that one, I decided to pick up Nightbane by Alex Astor. This is the second book in the Lightlark series. I had started the first book, Lightlark, I think back in like December of 2025, so in January we went straight into this one. This series, if you don't know, it's basically follows, the first book at least, follows this island that appears every 100 years where our characters must play this game called the Centennial to kind of like defeat these curses that are placed upon their people and their lands. And there's a little bit of a love triangle in there as well, and so this book right here especially really dives into that love triangle and uncovered so many new facts and secrets, and it was just like a mystery kind of aspect that I really enjoyed reading about. So yes, I would recommend this one as well. Like, oh my gosh, as I was first starting the series, love our characters, and like, love triangle is not my favorite thing ever, but this is one of those where I easily picked my character and who I prefer for her, so we will see. Apparently in the next book that's coming out, like the fourth or something book, this love triangle's been dragged on way too long, but apparently in that one the love triangle answer is revealed, so I need to get to that one and see. I think that was like Crown Tide or something. But yeah, what I give this, I gave it a 4-star, and then I said Grimm is everything, because it's Grimm and Oro, and I'm sorry, but like, Grimm is the only right answer, guys. He's the only right answer. Okay, then we picked up something completely different. If y'all know me, y'all know I am not afraid to like switch genres. Typically I just read, you know, romance and fantasy, but I've been really enjoying reading like fiction books and thrillers, and even dipping my toe into the historical fiction category. So I picked up All the Light We Cannot See by Anthony Dewar. I think that's how you say his last name. I'm honestly not sure. This book was so good, but also it was so sad, so just bear that in mind. It's quite long, and it took me a while to get through it. This book is kind of a unique take on a World War II retelling, because instead of following, you know, the war itself, we're more following these kids that are experiencing the war during their lifetime growing up. And so we're following a young girl and a young boy. The girl is in France and then the boy is in Germany, and so we're following, you know, both sides of the war kind of from their eyes, and just the way that like Germany corrupted this poor boy. These people didn't even really know what they were fighting for, it seems like. I'm not the biggest expert on historical like wars and stuff like that, so just bear that in mind. But like, I feel like this was such an eye-opening, impactful story on its readers. It took this very intense war and like approached it from a different angle as far as like what these kids were going through, and seeing it through their eyes, it was just so devastating, especially our girl to me, because she's going through kind of her own issue. I don't want to say what it is, but she is suffering, and like, oh my gosh, it was just so devastating. But like, I gave it a 4-star overall. I didn't give it a 5 just because struggled to read it at times. Not that there was anything wrong with it, I just, like I said, am not the biggest expert on historical wars and stuff like that. It's not my biggest interest, even though I think it's important for us all to learn and know about these things. Just not my typical go-to read for like escapism, you know what I mean? So I gave it a 4-star. Really enjoyed it overall. Then guys, we picked up my very first 5-star read of the year, Binding 13 by Chloe Walsh. This is the first book in the Boys of Tallman, and guys, I've harped on this series before. Y'all know me. This is like my new hyperfixation series. I love these characters so freaking much, but also you have to be in like the right headspace to read them. They're very intense, okay? Like, keep that in mind. These themes and like what our characters go through, somehow, even if you're not really struggling, it still just hits you so deep. And like, at least in my experience, it made me kind of, it affected my own personal emotions even whenever I wasn't reading it. So just bear that in mind. Basically, we're following these teenagers that are growing up in Ireland, and kind of like the main plot is our boys are rugby players for these two schools, depending on which characters you're following. Each of the different numbers follow different sets of characters. So the first, Binding 13 and Keeping 13, follows Johnny and Shannon, and Shannon has an awful home life, and so we're diving into that. Johnny has his own struggles as well. The other two books, Keeping 6 and no, what are they called? Saving 6, Redeeming 6, those follow Joey and Eva. Joey is Shannon's brother, so we're following still that home life, kind of the same things from a different perspective. And then Eva has other struggles that I don't want to get into what they are. But Binding 13 specifically, we're diving in headfirst to the story, meeting our characters, figuring out kind of the basis of this world, and let me just tell you, I love these characters so much. This is like the best book that I have read in a very long time, and I'm pretty sure I said that in my review. These characters are just meant for each other. Like, so far out of the two couples that I've read, Johnny and Shannon are the best. Like, I don't know. They are just like each other's missing pieces in their life. Perfection. These books are marketed as YA. I don't think they are, so bear that in mind. But yeah, I would so recommend, if you're in the right headspace, to give these books a try. I've been hearing about them for so many years, and I just never went into them for some reason. But once I finally just did, my life has changed, to be honest. Okay, so then after that, I decided to go back into the Lightlark series. I picked up Sky Shade by Alex Astor. This is the third book in that series. This one, it was not exactly my favorite one of the entire series. I put literally one tab throughout this entire thing, and that was the one where Graham reached up and slowly dragged her dagger down his chest until it reached his heart. Then he patted her hand and said, "Go ahead, it's yours anyway." That was a good quote, but other than that, I mean, the book, I don't know. I feel like the love triangle is dragging on a little bit too much at this point in the story. This is the one that I'm currently up to date with in the series. Yeah, I literally said I give it a 3-star, and I said I wish Miss Girl would just pick already, because it's kind of bugging. And she still hasn't picked by the end, so pretty sure after this I have to read Grim and Oro, that book, and then, what is it called? Crown Tide? Did I say? I think the next one is Crown Tide after Grim and Oro, and I think that's the one where she picked, if I'm not mistaken. But that one's not out in a paperback, so I don't want to buy it. Maybe I'll like read it on my Kindle or something if it's on there. Can this go back on the shelf? Hello? There we go. Okay guys, then I read literally like another just absolute banger of a book. Like, incredible. Give me 15 of them right now. I read House of Sky and Breath by Sarah Dumas. This absolute book right here is the second book in the Crescent City series by her. Guys, I at first gave this book a 4.5, but I'm changing it to a 5. I am, because that ending, I'm sorry, this entire book, like, while it seems like it drags on a little bit, I can't even complain because I love being with these characters so friggin' much. If you don't know, Crescent City is an urban fantasy series. The first book follows kind of a murder mystery plot, and then I don't want to go really into too much detail about what it is, but obviously there is some story packed into these books. There's 3 of them so far out, and I think there's another one coming out after the new ACOTAR books, and they're all kind of, it's all one world, you know what I mean, between the 3 series. And yeah, this was incredible. That's all I'm kind of going to say about it. Let me read my review. I said, hello, that ending? I literally cannot believe it took me so long to read such a fantastic book. The plot twists were amazing. It's such a great addition to the series, and Massiverse, 4.5 stars. Yes, read this series, Crescent City. It's so underrated. You have to read it if you haven't. I know everybody just talks about ACOTAR and kind of throw a glass at this point, but guys, you need to read Crescent City. It's so freaking good. People don't love it for some reason, and I don't really understand. Like, I love urban fantasy, I've come to find out. It's so random, but it's a vibe. So then we read A Funny Story by Emily Henry. Tell me why these are literally all blue books. I don't know what's going on here. I think I remember this, that I was reading like all blue books at the beginning of the year. It was kind of weird, but Funny Story by Emily Henry. This book here follows our characters, Miles and Daphne, and I'm trying to remember exactly what it was. Basically, both of well, Daphne has a fiance, and then Peter has a girlfriend, and basically, their two partners end up cheating on them with each other. So to get back to them for that, they decide to then fake date each other, and then it turns into a real relationship. And if you can't tell by that plot alone, this book is messy, guys. This book is messy. Yeah, I don't know. I did not know Emily Henry had this kind of story in her. Like, we know her stories are kind of cute and innocent and just very romantic, sweet. This plot was messy, but like, it was funny, but I don't know how I feel about it. And also, I have conflicting feelings because I don't really like our main male character, Miles. He doesn't really do much for me. I don't know. He just seems kind of lazy. Sorry to all the Miles girlies, but I don't know. And then, yeah, but I also still gave this book 4 stars because it's Emily Henry. Like, she can do no wrong. These quotes were incredible. The themes, amazing. Would I still recommend? Yes, because so many people love this book. I liked it, clearly, to give it 4 stars. Maybe I changed it to a 3.5. I don't know. It was good, though. Would I ever reread it? Probably not, but I do like having it here with my Emily Henry collection on my shelves. So then, after that, I decided to pick up a book in a genre that I hadn't picked up in a long time. Like, I love this genre, but I don't read enough of these books. And maybe it's because I have a hard time buying them physically. I need to just read them online or something. But that is a thriller. The Housemaid by Frida McFadden. I love Frida McFadden. Like, she has yet to get me, or yet to not get me with the plot twist. Well, that's kind of, this book I low-key predicted the plot twist. I feel like it was kind of obvious, but it was still so good. This book, we're following this girl who is trying to get a job in any way she can. I don't remember why. I guess she just needs money for her car. Oh wait, yeah, she's like living in her car. She doesn't have a house, and so she needs a job to help pay for herself. And so she comes across this in-house cleaning opening for a job. And so basically she'll be able to live at these people's house and get paid to clean their house. What better deal for someone that doesn't have a house, you know? So the Winchesters, she goes to work for them, and basically she ends up I'm not even gonna say, I can't say. It's a thriller. Yeah, the movie just came out. Tyler, my fiance, watched it with me, and he kind of predicted the ending too. So I gave it, I think, just a 3. Guys, oh wait, yeah. No, I gave it a 3.5. Low-key predicted it, unfortunately, but it was still so good. Part 2 dragged for me a bit, but part 1 was incredible. Okay, yeah, I couldn't remember that, but reading my review, that reminded me. I guess part 2 was slow or something. But yeah, I would still recommend. Honestly, I need to get into more Frida McFaddens because they're always so good. Next, I picked up yet another YA fantasy. This series right here is the Caraval trilogy by Stephanie Garber. I'm gonna be honest, I pretty much picked this up because I wanted to get into the Once Upon a Broken Heart series by her, and I knew that there was spoilers for that book, or that series, in this series. So I had to pick this one up first, read it first, and I was shocked. Like, didn't really care for her writing style at first, but it grew on me. You know what I mean? Caraval, it was okay. It wasn't my favorite book, and honestly, I was a little bit kind of like, bro, why did I buy this whole series up front? Whenever I didn't really enjoy the first one too much, but I mean, it was still really cute, fun, magical vibes. Basically, we're following this traveling kind of like circus thing, but it's not really a circus. It's more of this magical game that these people can compete in to win a prize. And we have great themes of sisterhood, familial relationships, standing up for what's right. Kind of basic themes, but it was still really cute. I gave this one a 3 star. I didn't read a review, but it was solid. You know what I mean? Then guys, after those kind of fillery style books, I knew that I was probably in the right mind space again to get back into the Boys and Tallman series. So I decided to pick up Keeping 13 by Chloe Walsh. Yet again, let those tabs speak for themselves. Whoa, this lighting, hello. Okay, this is Johnny and Shannon's second and last book, and it was so freaking good. I thought Binding 13 was good. Like, oh my gosh. This was somehow even better. I don't even know. 6, 7, 8, 9, a million stars, guys. A million. This book is incredible. These quotes, like, tell me why I literally highlighted every other word on every page. Like, everything is highlighted in this story. I went kind of ham with the tabs, but I don't even care because I'll be able to go and reread these characters. Their relationship is so... I don't even know. Oh my gosh. gosh, it's so devastating, but like in the best way ever. I love our characters so much. I highlighted so many things, and if I even think too hard about this book, I could probably cry because I cried reading it a lot. Yeah, somehow this one might be my favorite book in the series so far. I don't know, because this is the book where we're introduced to the devastating things, and then in the later books we kind of are told the same thing but from a different perspective. But this is like the first time we're reading about it, and it was so intense. I said 6 stars, the best book I've read in a very long time. Yeah, pretty much. So then guys, after that I was like, how do I read anything else? You know what I mean? Like genuinely, how do I even move on from that? Like whatever I read after that, it was not gonna hit as hard. So what did I do? I picked up the next book in the series, Saving Six. Yeah, so we are first ever in Joey and Aoife's point of views in this book right here. This is their first book, and we're following them over the course of like 5 years, getting to know each other, all growing up throughout middle school and high school and that kind of thing, like secondary school, so they call it in Ireland. Yeah, this is like a slow burn to the max, but it was perfect. And I feel like this really sets the scene for redeeming Six, and I don't even know what to think. I want to cry. Yep. Joey, the things he does for his family. He gets a job working for Aoife's father in a garage, kind of fixing up cars to help take care of his family because they can't really take care of themselves for reasons we find out. And oh my gosh, he meets Aoife at school, and immediately there's just this connection between them. It's insane. I 1,000 times recommend. 6 stars yet again. Incredible. For that one, I need to go back and re-add my tabs. I took pictures of where I wanted to put them in my phone. I just haven't physically gone and added the tab yet, so I need to do that. So from there, I was still like, where the heck do I go? But I picked up, nevertheless, I think I took like a day off of reading, and I picked up Legendary by Stephanie Garber, the second book in the Caraval series. From here, we are really diving deeper. Like, there's a deeper plot in this book than was really introduced in the first book, and I appreciated that there was more added to it because I kind of thought it was gonna be another copy of the first book, but it was not. It was different. It was more unique, and I liked it a lot. I liked it better than the first one. Wait. Actually, I take that back. My review says otherwise. I forgot. It was cute. I gave it a 3-star. Enjoyed slightly more than Caraval because it wasn't quite as confusing in my opinion. Here we go. Here's my points. I wrote a lot of points. I wish the sisters were more honest and open in this one because a big theme in Caraval, the first book, was their open and supportive relationship. Yes, that's true. They were like deceiving each other in this one. Some of our characters' decisions had me questioning their sanity, LOL, but it's just a YA, so I didn't mind it. The flowery writing style is just a bit too much in my opinion, but I understand how some people could like it. It was slowing my reading speed down a bit, disconnecting me from the story when I had to pause to try to really picture the descriptions. Yeah, because it'd be like, they describe every other sense in like 8,000 words, and the way this character's voice sounded in 30,000 ways, and like these colors, and it was just very flowery. If you've read Stephanie Garber, you would know how flowery her writing style is. And then finally here I said, overall a nice addition to the series. I enjoyed the addition of the fates and the conflict of choice Tella had to make. Boom! Then, it had been a little bit since I picked up a romance book, so I decided to go back into the Twisted series by Anna Huang, and I picked up Twisted Games by her. This book follows a princess, so very different from Twisted Love, the first one. This princess here, her name is Bridget. She is studying at college in America. She kind of has no interest in going back home to her country in Eldora and fulfilling any of the princess stuff. Like, she just wants to live a normal life, do her thing. But one day, she's called back to Eldora because of this, like, political thing. They've got this, like, political issue going on. She has to come and act as a princess, do different things for the country, and she's kind of not a fan, but she has this bodyguard, okay? She secretly loves the bodyguard. His name is Reese Larson. He is everything. Their banter is incredible. It's very much a forbidden romance, okay? Because she is kind of set to be married to this other prince from another country to align the countries politically, but obviously no one knows she's in love with Reese. So what are we gonna do? This book was so good. Their romance was incredible. Yeah, obviously they can't be dating because he's her bodyguard. Like, is that not a conflict of interest? I mean, maybe that would make him even more protective. I don't know. But yeah, I gave this one a 4-star overall. So good. Then we picked up another romance. We went back into, yet again, the Dirty Air series. We picked up Wrecked by Lauren Asher. This follows Jax and Elena, okay? Jax is on the same team as Liam, the guy in the second book, and basically, Jax is having some issues. He's kind of going off the handle. He's embarrassing himself in front of the media. He has some personal issues going on at home, but he needs to straighten himself himself out because his reputation is on the line. So his manager decides to hire this girl, Elena, to come in and fix his social media presence, make him look desirable, and, you know, whatever, for the fans to like him yet again, because that's part of it. In racing, you have to have fans for like money and that kind of thing. So yeah, there's also like really good themes of anxiety representation, that kind of thing in this book. Really, really well written. Like I said earlier, as you get further on into the Dirtier series, we kind of approach more real world issues and things that people are really going through behind the scenes. Instead of just kind of the basic romance, there's more to it. And so I really appreciated that about this one. I give this one a 3.75 stars and I enjoyed it a lot. Once again, a really good palate cleanser. Then guys, yet another completely different genre. We decided to go into a sci-fi. I picked up Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir. I have not read a sci-fi in a long time. Like, I'm pretty sure the last sci-fi I read was The Martian, also by Andy Weir. And guys, I pretty much picked this one up because I saw everybody's reading it. There was a film adaptation coming out and I just wanted to get on the hype train. What can I say? I enjoyed the story so much. I honestly liked, well, I liked the movie and everything for different reasons. This one was a lot deeper. We're basically following this man who is being sent to space to complete a mission, and he is kind of throughout the story, he doesn't remember why he's sent on this mission. So we're flashing back and forth to his past memories as they're coming to him, and he remembers that he's being sent to find the reasoning behind why this bacteria called astrophage is taking over their sun, and making all the plants on Earth die. Basically, Earth is gonna die if he can't find out the reasoning for this. He gets sent to this other galaxy where there is astrophage present, but they're not killing the sun. So he's like, what is going on? Trying to solve that. I don't know if that makes sense, but he's sent on this mission, slowly remembering why he's there, and he's all by himself out in space, and so he's lonely, and he comes across this little friend. If you've read the book, you know I'm not going to give anything away because I feel like it's fun to just read it. The movie was so good. Like, the only thing that I didn't necessarily like about the book that the movie didn't do that I appreciated was the book was so scientific to the point of like it was taking me forever to get through this book, because y'all know I can't simply not understand something in a book. Like, I have to sit there until I comprehend it fully. So as many scientific descriptions as there were, I have to say I read all of them to the point that I understood them completely. So yeah, I think I give this one a 4-star just because of that. But oh my gosh, I love our characters. It was so good. Alright, so then I had to get back into the romance circle. Just Friends by Haley Pham that came out earlier this year. If y'all don't know, Haley Pham is another booktuber here on YouTube. And so whenever I found out that she was publishing a debut book, I of course had to give it a try. This book, we're following Declan and Blair. They grew up best friends, but there's kind of an accident that takes place that separates their friendship, and they go years without speaking to each other. So now that Blair is an adult, she goes back home to help with her grandmother who has cancer. She's going back home to help take care of her, and there she gets a job at a coffee shop to help like fund the expenses, I guess. And who owns the coffee shop? None other than Declan, her kind of high school sweetheart that she hasn't talked to in years. And it's their second chance romance. It is so cute, but like, yes, there are flaws in this book. There are some crazy flaws, I won't lie. This book is far from perfect, okay? It's far from perfect. I gave it a 2.75, okay? That doesn't mean I didn't like it. It just needs improvement. There was sentences that were repeated. There was a lot of big words unnecessarily used. I didn't like the third act conflict. It didn't make sense to me. However, the story was cute. I would recommend it. Definitely YA. It read extremely YA, even though it's supposed to be an adult book. I don't know. Has nothing to do with the spice. It's just like the lack of character depth in the relationship for me. Alright, sorry if the lighting's a little different. I had to leave and come back. My little baby turtle. We've been looking for a friend for him, and we may or may not have found a friend. But this is also a 3.5-inch friend, and my baby turtle is 1 inch, so I don't know if that's a good idea. Anyway, we're gonna get back into it. We'll assess that as it goes. But the next book was Finale by Stephanie Garber, the third and final book in the Caramel series. This one was by far probably my favorite book in the Caramel series in general. I really liked the way this plot went. It was so good, so unexpected. We introduced so many new things that I didn't think was gonna happen, and I really liked the additions of new characters and new plot. Really turned it around for me, and I got more used to the writing style, the flowery writing, and it hit. It was a good book. I gave this one a 4-star overall, and yes, I would recommend this series. It's very YA, keep that in mind, but it was still cute. The yearning was there. Alright, then yet again, I was ready to get back into the series. I picked up Redeeming 6 by Chloe Walsh, the 4th book in the Boys of Thomas. 6 stars. My heart was shattered. This was by far the most emotionally devastating book in the series. It's absolutely huge. You can't tell because these books, the copies I have, are like the Bible paper pages, and these are the tall books. There's a billion words on each page. The audiobook was, I think, over 24 hours. No, I think it was like over 30 hours of an audiobook for this book. And yeah, my heart is shattered forever, but these characters are everything to me. And I want to pick up the 5th book, Taming 7, but I'm intimidated. And knowing like what these books did to my emotional state, I think I'm gonna wait. Starting a new job on Monday with my degree, and I think I'm gonna wait to get a little settled into that before I start that book with all the emotions that's gonna bring toward me, because yeah, we will see. Then we picked up a really quick, simple book because I needed something to kind of bring me back towards my reading goal. So I picked up Room for Two by Lana Ferguson. It is audiobook format only, which is very interesting. So I listened to it on Spotify. It was pretty cute, I think. Let me read. I said cute premise, easy read when you want something quick, 3.25 stars. It's literally a novella, okay? Basically, I'm trying to remember exactly what happened because the audiobook was 6 hours long. Read it so quickly, and let me see. We're following Cade and Nora. Basically, Nora is drunk on a beach at a party in Florida because her ex-boyfriend like cheated on her or something, and in this state she kisses Cade, and then Cade is forever like longing for her based on that kiss, and she doesn't even remember it because she was not in her right headspace. They like reunite and rekindle in a coffee shop or something, and it's just cute, very speedy, but a good palate cleanser, you know? Like I was doing my little gym puzzles while I was listening to it, so it was cute. Then we picked up The Deal by Elle Kennedy. I don't have this book physically either, but I wanted to watch the off-campus show that came out recently. I only watched the first 2 episodes and then I kind of got bored of it. But the book, it's a college romance book, and I feel like I'm a little bit aged out of it. Like I graduated college in May, but I moved to my new city in December, did my last semester online, and I feel like I've been kind of aged out of college for a little bit, and it's just very much party, fratty vibes. It was fun, but not my favorite, and I think I gave it 4 stars. And then we picked up The Mistake, who follows... Oh yeah, these are hockey romances, by the way. So The Mistake and The Deal, and I'm pretty sure all of them follow these hockey players that are playing at the college level. And this one follows Dean, I think. Yeah, this one follows... Who is this? Dean and... Oh no, sorry, this is John and Grace. I haven't read Dean's yet. I said I loved book 1 way more, but still a fun time. I didn't really like the 3rd act conflict and felt like the ending was rushed, but it was enjoyable overall. 3 stars. Yeah, and then another thing that drives me crazy is whenever the characters just throw themselves at men in the very beginning of the book, I'm like, where is the build-up? Where is the build-up? What are we doing? So I didn't really like her as a character that much, to be honest, but what can you do? Then, oh my gosh, guys. Ugh. Throughout reading those books, I was also reading another book kind of at the same time, and that is the 3rd and final book in the Crescent City series, House of Flame and Shadow. Almost 900 pages in this book, and I ate up every second. Guys, y'all were hating on this book. Why? It was so freaking good. Literally, I love our characters. I love the plot. It was incredible. I love the tie-ins to the different series by Sarah Moss, and it was everything to me. I went into it with no expectations, so maybe that's why I liked it, but it was a 6 stars. And I don't know what I'm gonna do with myself now that I've read every single Sarah J. Moss book. Like, there's a new one coming out in October, the new ACOTAR book, as we know. So I think I'm gonna reread ACOTAR because she's my favorite author. What can I say? This book was incredible. Incredible. I love these characters. All right, guys, I fear we're caught up. That was book 22. So the very last book we're going to be talking about is the one I'm currently reading, and that is Redeemed by Lauren Asher, the 4th and final book in the Dirty Air series by her. Then from there, I want to move on into the Dream on Billionaires series and see what else she can write, because obviously this series right here is Formula 1, but billionaire romances sound even more incredible. So this one we're following Santiago and Chloe. I am, if y'all can see where I'm at, on page literally 98. Barely in, but that's okay. Santiago is the brother of Maya in the first book, Throttle, and he has kind of this accident that is very debilitating, and he's struggling with a lot of emotions because of that. And then Chloe is looking for her father, and that's kind of the point where I'm at right now. And it's their romance. We're gonna see where it goes, but so far, I've really been enjoying this book. It is so good. Like I said, these themes are just so unexpected, especially after reading, you know, the beginning books in the series, but the books are just getting better and better as you go. So we'll see how this one goes. I'm gonna continue reading it today, and it'll be in my next wrap up at the end of the month. So, but yeah, that's gonna wrap up all of the books that I've read so far in 2026, all the way up until the middle of June is where we're at right now. Like, I can't even believe we're halfway through the year. This is crazy. Thanks guys so much for listening throughout this entire video. I know it was probably pretty long, but I really appreciate you all being here, showing your support. Let me know what your favorite book is that you've read so far this year in the comments down below, and whether or not you'd recommend it. Obviously you probably would, because it's your favorite, right? Let's hope. Give me some book recommendations and video recommendations, things like that. Be sure to subscribe, like this video, and I will see you guys next time. Bye guys!